This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Yes, After Party Live. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here, and aloha. Hopefully the live button is on. I'm on the air. We're ready to rock and roll. Nice Mark Thompson show today. I really appreciated Belinda Weymouth's segment talking about the horrible deal made with fossil fuel CEOs to exchange our health for cash. I mean, if there's not, I know this is not a political show, but if there's not just a glaring difference between the two candidates, I think that really showcases everything. Love Belinda Weymouth's segment. Also loved her discussion of forever chemicals being banned from the San Francisco Fire Department. So I think that's huge when you talk about the health of our fire department personnel. They take a huge risk to help us and save us. So I'm glad to see that we're getting serious about making them healthier too. Talking about gas prices on the Nikki Maduro show. Wow. I'm telling you, I mean, I think I mentioned I paid $100 to fill my 20-gallon tank up. I put 18 gallons in. It was on empty, and the gas was $5.45 a gallon. Luckily, I'm not having to fill up very much because I'm not driving into San Francisco every day. So thank you for helping me do this and helping me save the environment. You can contribute to this crowdfunded show by looking at the show description, and you'll find the PayPal link there. Huge thank you to everyone who has contributed. You know, I have the new video at the end, the thank you video to close out with all the folks that have contributed. And it was made by my 14-year-old daughter, hence the bubble writing, before a couple of contributions came in. And so I just wanted to make sure to say a huge thank you to Scott Rittenberg, also to Wes and to Yvonne and to Murphy. Those contributions came in before the video was compiled. So your name is not on the list, but it will be because we will edit that. So thank you for contributing and for making this show possible. All right. Please click the like button. If you are here, you can subscribe if you haven't as well. And I'm pushing my way toward 2,000 subscribers. I think at last check, I was at 1,911, something like that. So slowly but surely, we're pushing toward 2,000, and thank you for your help in helping me get there. All right, let's talk about this first story. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is a story about droids, and this human-like droid is going to be for sale. It's $16,000, this droid. So for some people, maybe not for me, it's doable. $16,000. And you think about all the things it could do for you, maybe, especially if you're someone who was mobility impaired or had trouble doing your own laundry or folding your own things, what have you. Maybe $16,000 for something that could last and do household chores, and maybe that would be okay. I'll tell you, this thing is creepy city. The way it moves. As a matter of fact, the headline on Popular Science is "Worryingly Bendy Humanoid Robot Can Crush Nuts, Slice Coke Bottles." They call it unsettling. It's a G1 humanoid agent, and that it could be yours for 16 grand. But they say the nightmare fuel, that's free. This is Unitree, is the company, Unitree. And they're unveiling their new $16,000 G1 humanoid agent. It is, you can see how bendy he is there, or she. It's a bipedal robot contortionist that specializes in bow staff combat, crushing nuts with its bare claws, and withstanding a barrage of abuse from its human creators. It relies on a LiDAR system, 360-degree LiDAR, to assess the environment around it. It can run about 4.5 miles per hour, so about as fast as a human could in a jogging speed. Each robot has 23 to 43 degrees of joint motor freedom, depending on which model you get. and it's powered by a string of a 13 lithium rechargeable power source. It's got a 8-core high-performance CPU for about 2 hours of battery life before he has to be plugged back in again. I don't know why I'm calling it he, except that he's very strong and powerful and a little scary, so I don't know. Unitree Robot Unified Large Model has reinforcement, imitation learning, over-the-air feature updates so they can do whatever they want to it from over the air, I guess. All its wiring is encased within its torso and limbs. It folds into a compact shape when it's powered off. It's kind of like the exercise machine you can stow under your bed. It weighs about 77 pounds, so you can carry it around with you easily, I guess. But it's a strange thing. The design looks very similar to one made by Boston Dynamics, but there's a demonstration video. I feel like I need to show it to you. And I got my video taken down completely a couple days ago because I showed you a video of the Apple commercial. And so the video is completely lost. But you know what? Once we see it, we see it. That's fine. So I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to show you this extraordinarily creepy video. Are you guys ready? To take the picture down so I can put the video up. Okay, here it is. This is the video. Look at how mobile it is and how much it can do. Check it out. Look at this. So when they say bendy, they really mean bendy. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to push up. He's very powerful. All from the limbs. And there he is. Yeah. Now, he still kind of has this weird trudgy walk, but that's pretty good. Look at how the running. He has to take some abuse from people. They're trying to, I guess, show you how he moves when he runs into things, what could happen. I don't know. I guess it's a good demonstration, you know? And then here he goes, how bendy he is. Now, I don't know how that would come in to play and being valuable to have him be so bendy, but there he is. They fold him right up. You can stow him when he's plugged in. What is he, fighting with a lightsaber now? I guess maybe he's good for security outside. I don't know. I would hate to come into contact with that thing. I guess if you had a robber, or as Mark had, an intruder, having that thing outside might be a little, you know, might deter me from going further. Why would you have it cut off at the top of a Coke bottle? What good does that do? Maybe they need to fine tune the motor skills on this thing. I don't know. I guess he can solder things back together. So there he is, 16 grand. What do you think? Is it worth it? Would you want it in your house? Would you think that was something worthwhile? I don't know. I'm going to the chat. What do you guys have to say? Drink the Coke naturally. Danger, danger. That's kind of what I think. Colleen thinks this sort of innovation will be used for warfare. Troubling, though, that you would say this, Colleen, because you're, if I could hazard a guess, usually right about a lot of things. Your comments are usually spot on, so that you think that kind of scares me a little bit. Teacher Lori says they should be working on making these limbs into prosthetics for amputees. I bet somebody is doing that. Yeah. I don't think he's remote control. But maybe, I don't know how you order him around. I would imagine that because he has this language learning and imitation learning, that all you have to do is speak to him and he does what you want. Or they, it, whatever. Yeah. BA Ware says, better hope that mofo doesn't punch back, because that would hurt. Yeah. Heather says that's how I run when I need to make it to the bathroom right away. Yeah, the thighs clenched together and the feet trudging. Yes. Wait till you wake up and it crushes you. Ew. It does sound a little dangerous. It looks a little dangerous. I mean, it does also look kind of like I viewed the future. The face is a little bit weird. But I don't think I want not that I'm going to have one, but I don't think I want my robot to look human. You've seen movies. I think there was a Robin Williams movie where he was a robot, but he looked very human, right? I don't want my robots to look human. I want them to be completely different looking so we can tell and we can, not confuse the two. I don't know. Ooh. He's tapping on my window in the back. That's a new one. But yeah, so I just think, I don't know, I'm kind of creeped out by this and also intrigued and fascinated. Yeah. Lori's making a good point. It's cheaper than maintenance people at hotels and public buildings. You don't have to pay the benefits. More menial jobs will be lost. Colleen with the military. Each military duty member costs $140,000 per year. Maybe more with benefits and everything else. I don't know. Donald says, yeah, maybe picking up strawberries soon as taking more jobs away, right? John says, I know one industry that's going to want them looking human. Yeah, we can imagine what that industry would be. He can be your new jogging friend, walking pal, encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving in. No. So there he is. The new robot, 16 grand. I don't know. If I had 16 grand burning a hole in my pocket, I don't think I'm buying him. Are you buying him? Yeah, no, I don't think I am either. Donald says it will have to pick strawberries if the GOP get their way and keep out the immigrants. Nancy, I'm terrified of robots. Well, then I guess he's not the one for you, right? No, thank you. How about what's going on the USS Hornet? This is a story out of Alameda where the Hornet is docked. And there's a group of researchers from, I believe it's the University of Washington. Yeah, U of Washington. And they were doing this cloud brightening experiment. And they were spraying salt water up in the air, trying to find out if the warming effects of climate change could potentially be reduced by injecting salt aerosols into clouds, brightening them enough to reflect more sunlight away from the Earth. And you would think that University of Washington would know this. The folks doing the research did not okay it with the city of Alameda. And so they had to stop when city officials got word of what was going on there. No, you can't do this. And so I guess people that do research know that you have to get okays and approvals from whatever city you're in, and they didn't do it. Not cool. This city press release says scientists were ordered to halt this experiment because it violated Alameda's lease with the USS Hornet, which of course is the aircraft carrier pictured here. Researchers were spraying the salt water into the air using this kind of machine that looked like a snowmaker. The city staff, they're now working with a team of biological and hazardous materials consultants to independently evaluate the health and environmental safety of this particular experiment. You can't do something like this without telling people about it, especially in an area people live nearby here. The chemicals present in the experiment's aerosol spray are being evaluated to study whether or not they pose any threats to humans, animals, or the environment. So far, the city of Alameda says there isn't any evidence that they do. The prospect of a city-conducted review was apparently not unexpected by the University of Washington. I don't know why they didn't do it ahead of time then. What is it? Do it first, apologize later, right? The spray used in the Alameda experiment had droplets of salt the size of 1/1000th the width of human hair. The droplets were sprayed in a plume of mist above the ship's deck for 5 to 15 minutes multiple times per day. So, that's what they got going. They have to stop it now. And it remains to be seen whether that will be resumed or not. On to animals. The animal segment today is sponsored by Scott R. So thank you for that. Check out this little baby gator. Kind of a little fuzzy, but you can see him there swimming around in that fountain. A gator in a fountain. There was a woman that was out for her morning jog, and she came across this baby alligator taking a swim in a public fountain. Her name is Lauren. She said she and her dog were out for their morning run in Palm Beach Gardens when she saw something in the water in the fountain next to the Mirabella community entrance gate. She realized it was a small alligator taking a little swim in the cool water, and she asks the gator, "You having a good day?" And then a concerned neighbor eventually reached in, pulled that baby gator out of the water, and took it to a more suitable body of water and not the community fountain there. So, very interesting. Not the only animal people had to help. How about this little guy? Something you don't see every day. He's a fox in a sink. Sadly, this little one, this little fox cub, was stuck in the drain hole of a sink that was discarded. This happened in the UK. This curious fox poked its head right through the drain hole of this sink that was cast aside, and then they got its little head stuck in there. The South Essex Wildlife Hospital saying on social media that a vet was called out to help a fox cub who somehow managed to get his head stuck in the plug hole of this sink. The vet was apparently very experienced with this type of rescue, so with a little wiggling and a little patience, managed to get that cub free. It was taken to the wildlife hospital to be treated for injuries that it suffered to its paws while it was trying to get free of the sink. I would imagine it was kind of quite a fight. The fox apparently, I guess foxes are known for getting themselves into some strange situations, but the people helped. People got him out. So there you go. And that's your animals for today. I know you guys have this burning question. If you've heard people ask this before. Is a hamburger a sandwich? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Technically, I mean, you could think a sandwich is a piece of meat or chunks of meat between two pieces of bread. So it begs the question. I know you have this one on the back of your mind. We'll bring it to the forefront. Is a taco a sandwich too? It turns out, according to a judge, yes, a taco is a sandwich too. This is a judge in Indiana. And it all stems over this kind of this rules about what can and can't go into this strip mall, what kind of businesses. So the strip mall didn't want fast food restaurants like McDonald's or Taco Bell, those type of restaurants in there. But they would permit sandwich restaurants like Togo's or Subway to go in. And so the Mexican restaurant was turned down. They said, "You're a fast food restaurant." And they're like, "No, we make tacos, and tacos are sandwiches." So after having their plans to put in the restaurant turned down by the planning commission, the owner of the Mexican restaurant went to court to say, Mexican restaurant serving tacos and burritos falls under the umbrella of language permitted of a sandwich bar style restaurant whose primary business is to sell made to order or Subway style sandwiches. And the judge said, "You know what? You're right." The court agrees with Martin Quintana that tacos and burritos are Mexican style sandwiches. And so tacos and burritos are sandwiches. Legally. In Indiana. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're going to be able to put their the restaurant in, and that was the end goal. It is meat between kind of bread, well, starch anyway. But this judge in Indiana has settled the debate once and for all. Tacos or sandwiches. So there. I know, you wanted to know. This is, for people that collect coins, this one's kind of a big deal. This coin collection has been closed up, sealed up for 100 years. It belongs to, I'd never thought these words would come out of my mouth, a Danish butter magnate. I guess the person made their money in selling butter. Lars Emil Brun said in his will that a 20,000 piece collection he built throughout his life must be safeguarded for 100 years. A century later, some of these coins that he stashed away could, and just the coins, not the whole collection, could go for 800,000 pounds alone. He was born in 1852. He said in his will that after he died, this coin collection had to stay sealed up and kept safe for 100 years. So after more than a century, New York-based coin auctioneer Stax Bowers will be selling off the whole collection this fall. They call it the most valuable collection of world coins ever to come to market. In the 1800s, Mr. Brun's dairy enterprise, hence the butter magnet, made him rich, allowed him to hoard these coins, these medals, tokens, and banknotes from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden as well. After the First World War, he insisted in his will the collection serve as a reserve for the royal coin and medal collection in Copenhagen if they were destroyed. And since his death, the collection had been held at former Danish royal residence Frederiksborg Castle before it made its way to Denmark's National Bank. It's people are saying this is the best open secret ever. I mean, because they've known about this collection, but they haven't known exactly what was in there. Some pieces in the collection, maybe 40 pounds. Others could go for more than 800,000. Altogether, they think the collection could fetch up to 57.4 million pounds. That's a crazy collection. Pretty cool. So I'm sure we'll hear more about individual coins and how much they're selling for coming up. I know when I show you this picture, you're going to sing, who are you going to call? You're going to call the police if you have a problem with maybe your e-bike. And it turns out the police could be outfitted, equipped with devices like the proton packs the Ghostbusters carried in the movies. Now, they're not proton packs, but they are these backpacks with tubes that will apparently stop e-bikes and e-scooters if they're being used for crime. Street robberies, mobile phone thefts, you have people whipping by on these e-bikes and e-scooters. The thing that will stop them is being described, and this is a quote, as a ginormous backpack. It works by firing an electromagnetic pulse at an e-bike or e-scooter in the line of sight, and it sends a signal to confuse the electric motor into thinking that it's overheating. It's got a built-in safety system that shuts down, bringing the whole vehicle to a stop. But you have to carry one of these giant backpacks with a tube that looks like you're a Ghostbuster. They demonstrated this thing at a recent science and technology fair in the UK. They think that it'll be available for use in the coming months, maybe the coming years. It has the potential, according to the creator, to be useful with the normal combustion engine vehicles as well. So maybe they just need to, if you're whipping along or you're leading police on a pursuit, they just need to point their little Ghostbuster contraption at you and it will stop your engine. The the creator said the popularity of the vehicles, the e-vehicles, has changed the nature of police pursuits with lightning fast electric bikes around towns and city centers, making it more difficult. So these kinds of devices, he says, are the sort of new tech that we need, interfering with the electric motor to trick the electric motor to think it's overheating, and then it goes through a safe shutdown procedure. Now, right now, it's a giant backpack type thing because it's a battle of how much power you can get in there. Maybe over time they'll be able to whittle it down to something smaller. But for now, the police could be looking like the Ghostbusters. Here's a guy who did something, I don't know if you want to question his medical ethics or not, but he had this cancer. It's called a glioblastoma, and it's a form of aggressive brain cancer. Often, people that have it don't live long lives. They fight it, they may live for a few years, but it's aggressive and it's horrible. Well, this doctor had that, and he had done research through his life on melanoma. And so, because he knew the prognosis and his outcome was poor, he decided to test his cancer treatment on himself. Self-medical testing. Now, I guess it's better than testing the unknown on someone else. You know, he developed the treatment, he knew the risks of the treatment, and he knew that he was facing a disease that he probably wasn't going to survive. So, for all of these reasons, I think, why not? He's a doctor from Australia, and he applied his own pioneering research on melanoma to his incurable brain cancer. He was diagnosed almost a year ago. University of Sydney professor Richard Scoiler, he said his recent MRI showed no sign of reoccurrence to his glioblastoma. It looks like he cured himself with his pioneering melanoma treatment. Wow. His life-changing melanoma treatment is being credited with saving thousands of people. He was in Poland and he had a seizure, and that's when he was diagnosed with glioblastoma. So he becomes the first brain cancer patient to have pre-surgery combinations of immunotherapy as he used the foundation of his work on melanoma to save himself. So he's really hopeful that the tumor won't recur. And I guess there's a median time for the grade 4 brain tumor that he had to recur. Usually within 6 months it's back. It's been a year, it's not back. He said, or the University of Sydney said, by undertaking an experimental treatment with the risk of shortening his own life, he has advanced the understanding of brain cancer and is benefiting future patients. He was awarded one of the Australians of the Year award for his research. So, I know you could question whether it was okay for him to try this on himself, but I really think with that diagnosis, he probably wasn't going to survive. The fact that his research is so groundbreaking and actually worked is pretty amazing and could actually mean survival for other people as well. So now that he's tested it on himself, maybe they can test it on other people as well that are facing grim outcomes. A little bit of hope in the world is not a bad thing. You ready for the Lotto of the day? Here it is. Woohoo! Lotto of the day. This is a woman. These people win by accident? It kills me. This woman played an online lottery game by accident, and she won $736,874. She's from North Carolina. Her name is Cynthia. She said she didn't realize she put a $2 bet down when she tried out Bison Bonanza, which is a digital instant game available on the lottery's website and mobile app. She said, I thought I was playing in demo mode. I didn't think I was really gambling. But that accident, that she threw down $2 on accident, earned her the epic jackpot, is what it's called. A progressive epic jackpot. 736,874 buckaroos. The lottery officials say her prize was the largest one in any digital game since they were launched in November of last year. And she said, "I'm a very blessed person." She plans to use her money to take care of her mom. It's really nice. It's nice when people win that deserve the money, you know. Can we talk about this exploding star? We've seen so many cool things in the skies this year, from lunar eclipses to aurora borealis. Well, get ready for this too. This is the exploding star. A blazingly bright spot in the sky. It's known as a nova. And this happens about once every 80 years, and it's expected to be visible to us in the coming months. They call it a once-in-a-lifetime exploding star, expected to be visible before October. NASA says it could be a once-in-a-lifetime viewing opportunity. The T Corona Borealis is a white dwarf 3,000 light-years from Earth, and it's expected to be the focal point of this outburst. It last flashed in the sky in 1946, and it is predicted to happen again before October. Now, scientists say it might not be as big a deal or as exciting as a total solar eclipse or the aurora borealis, but it happens a lot less frequently than either one of those. Solar eclipses happen multiple times a decade, depending on where you are, right? The widespread nature of the northern lights, the best of its kind in 21 years. But this, once every 80 years. Once the brightness peaks, it should be visible to the unaided eye for several days and just over a week with binoculars before it dims again, possibly for another 80 years. Normally, you would need a telescope to see a star like this in the sky. No, you won't know this. You won't need that for this. So it's located near the Corona Borealis, which is between the constellations Hercules and Bootes. It'll be visible for people in North America in the eastern sky after nightfall and gradually climbs high in the southern sky as the night transpires. The predicted nova of T Coronae Borealis happens because it's gravitationally bound to another star, its binary system. As matter from one star collects on the surface of T Corona Borealis, it heats up over time, and about once every 80 years, it results in this big old bright outburst that causes it to shine really, really bright for just a short period of time. It's one of 5 of these known reoccurring novas in the Milky Way galaxy. And again, it's going to happen before October. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for this and our ears peeled for the information about exactly when we're going to see it. But that's something to look forward to. That's pretty exciting. We talked before, this is kind of an update, about the ban on ice cream. Remember they were going to ban ice cream in Milan because it was causing tourists to congregate after dark and in the evenings and all night long and whatever else. And it was one of these things that keeping people awake in the area, the, residential areas. And so they were going to ban ice cream from selling after a certain time in the evening so that the residents of the town could actually get some sleep and not have tourists flocking to the gelato and ice cream shops. Well, they're not going to do it. They tried this once before and they backed down too. Now they're backing down again. They had widespread criticism. They tried in 2013 in Milan to ban ice cream and pizza after midnight. And now they're like, okay, we guess you guys don't want an ice cream ban. Late night snacks are okay in Milan after all. They were doing this as mentioned, to protect the tranquility of the area and the people who lived here. But now they're like, hey, screw the tranquility, eat the ice cream. It's all right. Late night gelato is part of the Italian culture. People that come here should be able to experience it. So it's okay. The banning of the ice cream was supposed to start on May 17th, but there was widespread backlash and the government backed down. They will keep the ban in place on drinks like alcohol, but ice cream and takeout foods, those won't be affected. So you're good to go in Milan. Go get your ice cream and enjoy it to the fullest. What about this? This is the Rolls-Royce electric vehicle. Here it comes. That's right. We talked about Porsche putting up their 911 in hybrid form. We talked about Maserati going EV. Luxury cars are getting into this. This is the first Rolls-Royce electric vehicle. It's called the Spectre. It's an 18-foot-long coupe. And apparently the ride is really smooth. It's quiet, incredibly powerful. And the Rolls-Royce drivers have bought the Rolls for its smooth drive for a long time. Now the brand has the first EV. It's the Spectre Rolls-Royce. And they say it's still like a magic carpet ride with an all-electric powertrain. They call it waftability, compensating the inertia of the car to present the feeling of flying or floating. It's got a lower center of gravity because of this layer cake platform they have. They say if you drive the Rolls-Royce Spectre, it'll ruin you for all other electric vehicles if you take it for even a spin. You know what's not going to ruin me? This car, because I'm never taking it for a spin because I can't afford the Rolls-Royce Spectre. They say, though, that this electric vehicle is worthy of its heritage. That it's as amazing as the other Rolls-Royces. They say it's a Rolls-Royce first and an electric car second. So you buy this thing, you're still getting all the luxury and all the bells and whistles of the Rolls. They have a proprietary aluminum space frame platform with 4 fixed points, one in each corner. And they build this layer cake approach, giving the Spectre a low coefficient of drag, which affects the overall aerodynamics of it and the range of it as well. Under your feet is the plush carpeted interior floor, which sits atop the wiring and the climate control pipework. A flat battery pack underneath that weighs more than 1,500 pounds, sheathed in a smooth battery undercasing. Even with all those layers, the Spectre is only 2 centimeters higher than the gas-powered Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe. Don't know how they did it. How they squeezed all these electrical components into a 2-door car. I don't know. It's got a 23-inch wheel option. Slightly less range than the 22-inch wheels. It has the largest coach doors, which open out from the front instead of from the back of the door. All 4 seats, allowing the signature umbrellas embedded in the frame. So, yeah, they took it out on the roadway in Dallas, I-35, between Dallas and Austin. They said Texas is unpredictable for one-pedal driving. But they said it did really well. So, if you have a bunch of money and you're looking for an electric vehicle, and by a bunch of money I mean $500,000, the Rolls-Royce Spectre is really expensive, $500,000. But the thinking on this is that this technology is something that other electric vehicle makers should aspire to, and that it will trickle down to other auto manufacturers in the long run. So maybe we're not going to be able to afford the RollsRoyce Spectre, but eventually other electric vehicles will have this technology. And so it will improve the electric vehicles for generations to come. And I guess that's what we need. The car is nice. $500,000. I mean, come on. Here's an interesting story about medication. Now, some people have to take multiple pills every day. They got to take the blood pressure med, and they got to take the heart medication. They got to take the whatever. And you see the pill dispensers. Monday, Tuesday, you organize your pills. Kind of hard to keep it all on track. The sitting down and the weekly organizing of it is a big to-do. What if you only had to take one pill called a Polypill, and everything you took was in this pill, this one-stop shop? That's the whole point of this 3D printed Polypill. They say it could fit an entire day's medications. The creator of this says the future of prescribed medication lies in a personalized approach. As many as a third of all medication errors in the United States homes are the result of administration mistakes. But there's this team of researchers creating this Polypill that believe this could kickstart next generation personalized medicine, simplify your medical routine. The study is published in Materials Today Advances. Manufacturing engineers and pharmacists at the UK's University of Nottingham recently collaborated to print 3D edible tablets containing highly customized drug dosages and timing regimens as well. So just because you take the pill doesn't mean, I guess, everything opens up and happens right away. They used multi-material inkjet 3D printing, and they developed this new ink with a molecular makeup that cures into water-soluble structures when exposed to ultraviolet light. So after combining the ink with various amounts of aspirin, the team designed customizable geometric patterns to fine-tune each tablet's available surface area. Alongside the tablet's interior structure and shape, successfully controlled a given printed pill's release rate and dosage amount. And then they printed 55 additional individualized pills in a single batch to showcase their scalability and personalization. They said it's an exciting step towards simplified, individualized medical care. So even though their first try at this, their first crack at it, only used aspirin, the researchers say there's really no reason why future designs can't incorporate additional medications, regardless of the dosage, regardless of the timing. Because sometimes they want you to eat your pills or consume your medicine, is a better way to say it, with food. Sometimes they say, take 2 in the morning, take 2 at night. So if there's only 1 pill a day, how do you make sure that you're doing the right thing? Well, the researchers say these polypills would simplify an entire day's worth of medications into this single tablet. They have to do some more testing on it to expand the range of available materials and the usable prescription medications. And they're trying to refine, enhancing the feasibility of this for widespread application. And they think that it'll be really helpful to treat diseases that require the release of multiple drugs at different times. Because it's hard for people to remember and actually get this done. So if you only had to take it once a day, problem solved. Medicine does it for you. Smart pills, I guess you could say. They didn't say it, I said it. A single pill approach would simplify taking multiple medications at different times. They say this research is an exciting step toward that. And that's cool. I don't take any medicines every day, but if I did, I think this would be pretty good. Make it easy for everybody. SF Tesla says, I'll stick with the honey drops that look like those do. Calvin's sticking with his Flintstones chewables. Teacher Lori says convenience for rich people. Are you talking about the pills or the rolls? I don't know. If you're talking about the pills, I think they want this to be widespread. Perhaps. B.A. Wells with a full circle saying you can have your flexible robot force you to take your meds on time. Your dystopian future awaits you, humans. And that is the perfect way to end this show. Again, thank you to Scott. Thank you to Wes. Thank you to Yvonne and Murphy. I think, Murphy, you're in the video, but I don't think that Scott and Yvonne are in yet. Wes, you're also in the video. So thank you to everyone who has contributed to the After Party Live. You are a huge part of why I'm able to still make this happen and not fill up my car with gas every day and drive to San Francisco. So I can't thank you enough for allowing me to do this fun show. Thank you for spending your time, and thank you for your comments and for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow on the Nikki Maduro Show at 10, followed by the Mark Thompson Show at 11. Tomorrow is David Katz Day, and there's a lot to talk about where that's concerned. And then we'll be right back here for Trivia Thursday. Is it going to be Thursday tomorrow? It's going to be Thursday tomorrow. I know where I am. I swear I know my name. Maybe I need a robot to help me out. Have a great day, everybody. Make it a really good one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.